I think in my 11-year career, I've never experienced the racial comments from the Indiana Fever fan base.
Racial slurs, violent threats, and online harassment. These are not just isolated incidents, but a systemic problem plaguing the WNBA. How are players like Alyssa Thomas and Dejanay Carrington dealing with this abuse? And what's being done to protect them? Alyssa Thomas recently shocked fans when she spoke out about racial comments directed at her by Indiana Fever supporters. This disturbing revelation comes at a time when the WNBA should be celebrating its most successful year ever.
Lloyd, pull up. Bank isn't open quite yet. Thomas heaves it ahead. Carrington the catch and the finish.
Record-breaking viewership and packed arenas stand in stark contrast to the surge in racial abuse targeting players. As the league grapples with this crisis, questions arise about their response and what can be done to safeguard players. In the following segments, we'll examine the extent of this problem, evaluate the WNBA's actions, and explore potential solutions. The future of women's basketball hangs in the balance. Can the league protect its players while maintaining its newfound popularity?
She is so soft-spoken. So if she's choosing to speak, there is a reason.
While the WNBA celebrates record-breaking success, a sinister undercurrent threatens to drag players under. What's really happening behind the scenes that has stars like Angel Reese speaking out? The scope of racism in women's basketball extends far beyond the court, seeping into players' personal lives and digital spaces. Dejanay Carrington's experience serves as a chilling example of the severity of this issue. She received a threatening and racist email containing a racial epithet, along with wishes for her to be raped and murdered. This horrifying incident is not an isolated case, but rather a symptom of a larger problem plaguing the league. The intensity of racial abuse has notably increased during high-stakes moments, particularly during the playoffs. Rookie sensation Caitlin Clark found herself at the center of a storm, not just facing criticism for her play, but becoming a lightning rod for racist comments directed at her and other players. This surge in hostility during crucial moments of the season highlights how deeply entrenched these issues are within the sports culture.
Nobody in our league should be facing any sort of racism, hurtful, disrespectful, hateful comments and threats. Those aren't fans, those are trolls.
Social media platforms have become breeding grounds for unchecked racism and harassment. The accessibility and anonymity provided by these platforms have allowed trolls to frame narratives and spread hate with alarming speed and reach. Stephanie White, head coach of the Connecticut Sun, expressed her frustration with this phenomenon, stating, "We have allowed trolls in social media to frame the narrative of what the story is, and it's unacceptable." The impact of this online vitriol extends beyond the digital realm, affecting players' mental health and performance. Angel Reese, who has been vocal about her experiences, shared a poignant perspective. "For the past 2 years, the media has benefited from my pain and me being villainized to create a narrative." Her statement underscores the complex relationship between media coverage, fan behavior, and the perpetration of racist stereotypes. The problem isn't confined to faceless online trolls. Even in the supposedly controlled environment of WNBA arenas, players have faced racist comments from fans. Alyssa Thomas's recent call-out of Indiana Fever supporters for racial abuse demonstrates that this issue persists even in spaces where players should feel safe and respected. As the WNBA grapples with unprecedented growth and attention, it finds itself at a crossroads. The league must confront the ugly reality that increased visibility has brought with it an escalation in racist behavior. Players are caught in a paradoxical situation, excited about the sport's future, yet deeply concerned about the new levels of racism they're experiencing. As players sound the alarm on racism, a glaring disconnect emerges. Why are WNBA stars like Angel Reese claiming the league's efforts are too little too late? The WNBA's official stance against racism seems clear, but the reality on the ground paints a different picture. In response to the mounting pressure, the WNBA released a statement reaffirming their position against racism. The league declared, "While we welcome a growing fan base, the WNBA will not tolerate racist, derogatory, or threatening comments made about players, teams, or anyone affiliated with the league." They also emphasized their commitment to monitoring threats, stating, League security is actively monitoring threat-related activity and will work directly with teams and arenas to take appropriate measures. However, this response has been met with skepticism from players and coaches alike. Alyssa Thomas and Stephanie White, among others, have expressed dissatisfaction with the league's delayed action. Their criticism underscores a significant gap between the WNBA's intentions and the reality faced by players on a daily basis. Angel Reese, known for her outspoken nature, didn't mince her words when addressing the media's role in this issue. She pointedly stated, "Y'all a little late to the party and could have tried to put out this fire way before it started." Her comment highlights a crucial aspect of this problem: the delay in acknowledging and addressing racism in women's basketball. The effectiveness of the WNBA's current measures is being called into question. While the league's statement and security efforts are steps in the right direction, they fall short of player expectations in several ways. First, the reactive nature of these measures fails to address the root causes of racism in the sport. Second, the focus on monitoring and responding to threats doesn't adequately address the everyday microaggressions and subtle forms of racism that players experience. Furthermore, the league's approach seems to lack a comprehensive strategy for education and prevention. While security measures are necessary, they don't address the cultural shifts needed to create a truly inclusive environment. Players are calling for more proactive measures that go beyond mere statements and security protocols. The criticism from players and coaches also points to a communication gap between the league and its athletes. The delayed response suggests that the WNBA may not have fully grasped the urgency and severity of the situation from the players' perspective. This disconnect could potentially erode trust between the league and its most valuable assets, the players themselves. With trust eroding, the WNBA stands at a crossroads. How can a sport experiencing record-breaking growth also be grappling with unprecedented racism? The answer may reshape the future of women's basketball. The WNBA's response to racism has been criticized as inefficient, but what would a comprehensive plan to protect players and change the game look like? It starts with enhanced surveillance and stricter consequences for racist actions. The league needs to implement a zero-tolerance policy that extends beyond the arena, encompassing social media platforms where much of the abuse occurs. Education programs are crucial to long-term change. By implementing initiatives that teach fans about respect and sportsmanship, the WNBA can address the root causes of racist behavior. These programs should extend to all levels of the sport, from youth leagues to professional teams, creating a culture of inclusivity from the ground up. Media responsibility plays a significant role in shaping public perception. Stephanie White, head coach of the Connecticut Sun, emphasized this point, saying, "We have allowed trolls in social media to frame the narrative of what the story is, and it's unacceptable. The media must be more proactive in highlighting positive stories and achievements of WNBA players rather than amplifying toxic narratives that fuel racism." Fans have a crucial role to play in combating racism. By actively challenging racist behaviors, both online and at games, supporters can create a more inclusive environment for players. This means speaking up when witnessing inappropriate comments, reporting abusive social media posts, and fostering a community that celebrates diversity in women's basketball. The WNBA should consider partnering with anti-racist organizations to develop targeted strategies for addressing racism in sports. These partnerships could provide valuable expertise and resources to support the league's efforts. Additionally, player-led initiatives could be powerful tools for change, giving athletes a platform to share their experiences and lead conversations about racial equality in sports. Transparency is key to rebuilding trust between the league, players, and fans. Regular updates on anti-racist efforts, clear communication about consequences for racist behavior, and open dialogues with players about their concerns can demonstrate the WNBA's commitment to addressing this issue. Technology can be leveraged to create safer spaces for players and fans. Advanced moderation tools for social media, AI-powered detection of hate speech, and secure reporting systems for racist incidents can all contribute to a more protected environment for WNBA athletes. Angel Reese's critique that the media is a little late to the party in addressing racism underscores the urgency of this issue. The WNBA must act swiftly and decisively to protect its players and preserve the integrity of the sport. By implementing a multifaceted approach that combines education, enforcement, and community engagement, the league can set a new standard for addressing racism in professional sports. The WNBA's record-breaking success is overshadowed by a surge in racism targeting players. From social media abuse to in-person harassment, the problem demands urgent attention. The league's response has been criticized as inadequate, with players like Angel Reese stating, "Y'all a little late to the party and could have tried to put this fire out way before it started." Addressing this issue is crucial for the future of women's basketball. It requires a collective effort from the league, media, and fans to create a safe and respectful environment. We must challenge racist behavior, support anti-racism initiatives, and amplify positive narratives about WNBA players. As avid viewers and fans, we have a responsibility to be a part of the solution. By speaking out against racism and supporting players, we can help shape a more inclusive future for women's basketball. The sport's growth and the fight for equality in athletics demand our commitment to combating racism at every level.